Genetic engineering, the deliberate modification of the characteristics of an organism by manipulating its genetic material. Yay. But the real question is it ethical? Deliberately changing something's DNA is nothing new. Humans have been doing it for hundreds of years. Take dogs, for example. Dogs weren't always the cute little domestic animals you keep in your house and play fetch with. They started off as wild, fierce hunters like wolves, but over time, humans selectively bred dogs to get specific traits that would eventually make them into the furry little animals you have running around your house today. So, genetic modification is nothing new, but the methods have changed and gotten more efficient over time. Recently, scientists have discovered a revolutionary new genetic technology called CRISPR-Cas9. This technology is changing the process of genetic engineering forever. So how does it work? To put it simply, CRISPR-Cas9 is a programmable enzyme that takes a section of DNA, copies it, precisely snips off a part of another strand of DNA, and carefully inserts the first piece into the other strand of DNA. See, I learned something in biology class. Thanks, Dr. Beer. CRISPR lets us precisely change the genetic sequences that make up an organism's DNA. This means that we can practically change anything. The implications of this technology are huge. One example of something we can do with this technology is stop genetic diseases before they even happen. Scientists will be able to alter an embryo's DNA and fix genetic disorders in their genome. This means that things such as hemophilia or color blindness, and even Down syndrome, can all be a thing of the past. Now, embryos aren't the only things that can benefit from this technology. The CRISPR enzyme can be used on living organisms as well, and could well lead to the end of the disease. Scientists have done some tests on rats where they injected a modified CRISPR enzyme to get rid of the HIV virus. The injection got rid of over 50% of the virus in the rats' bodies. The technology is still relatively new, but this means that in a couple of years we could eradicate the HIV virus and other related viruses such as herpes. CRISPR could even let us get rid of cancer. It can change the immune system cells to be better at detecting and fighting the cancer cells in your body. So I've only mentioned the human implications so far, but genetic engineering could also help with biodiversity. Climate change is happening, no matter how much you say it isn't, and because of this, lots of animals are dying out or losing their habitats. Genetic engineering can help with that too. We can change the genes in the animals to help them better adapt to a changing environment. We've already altered and played with the genes of animals. We've changed dogs, as previously mentioned. We've cloned a sheep and created mosquitoes that can't reproduce. So slightly changing animals to help them better survive isn't too far-fetched. So with the things I've mentioned, genetic engineering doesn't seem like a particularly bad thing. Other things I forgot to mention were things like, the end of aging and resurrection of mammoths. But genetic engineering isn't all sunshine and rainbows. So on to the main ethical debate, designer babies. If you don't know what a designer baby is, then imagine a create a character menu on a video game. You get to choose everything from eye color to gender. Lots of people feel uneasy about this because you're completely changing the baby from what it was originally supposed to be. But in theory, designer babies aren't all that bad. Although some people will abuse the technology and change every physical feature they can think of, the advantages of this have to be taken into consideration as well. So imagine this. You know that your kid will have some sort of genetic disease, whether that be something as dangerous as hemophilia or something more mildly annoying like color blindness. If you're aware of this ahead of time, wouldn't you get the treatment and cure your child from having to go through that? And now let's flip the situation. Imagine you are that child. How would you feel if you found out all the struggles you've gone through in life could have been easily prevented if your parents had just done the treatment? In an ideal world, genetic engineering would be used only as a type of medicine, something to make the rest of humanity healthy and safe forever. But we don't live in this ideal world, and if there are not strict laws implemented, the technology could easily get out of hand. People would take the freedom to make their children look exactly how they want. Wars would be gruesome with armies of super soldiers fighting one another. On the animal side of things, people could modify animals to their heart's content, and there's no telling how that could turn out. Genetic engineering could either let us save the planet or ruin it. So the debate's still on. If used properly, genetic engineering could save millions and improve billions of lives, even help animals and plants better adapt to the changing climate. But if in the wrong hands, the technology could be quite scary and possibly dangerous for people and animals alike. But no matter how much we argue, a future of genetic engineering is coming, and fast. What was once considered to be science fiction may soon become our reality. Thanks for watching.